In talking about being with what is right now, oh, we've beaten that to death, said it over and over and over again. And those of us who are on the spiritual path, enlightenment or whatever, we have beaten it to death. Be here now. And it's really very subtle and hard to grasp what that means. But to me, what it means is to really be in a very tangible feeling way, not only in your head, be here now, like a machine, but in your body, to allow yourself on some level into the nervous system, to almost reprogram yourself, to relax into the nowness of now, feeling, like I've said before, the breeze, and hear the birds, smell the scents, the flowers, or the not so unpleasant smells, whatever, just to be with what is happening right now in a very tangible way. It's so valuable to carry that with you through life. It's the most valuable thing you can possibly do, because we need to reprogram the machine. And we are a machine. We're not unlike a computer or any kind of robotic kind of thing that just moves automatically. We do that from our conditioning, from our deep programming from birth, the conditioning that we learn, through our teachers, through our parents, through our peer group. We become highly conditioned, and in that conditioning, there's a sort of unrealistic imaginary being that is created, and we get so far away from the simplicity, the naturalness, the simplicity of just little me here now. It's a very I think this is what all the teachers are trying to get us to, is to let go of the imaginary person we think we are, that conditioned being, and get back to the simplicity of just being here with what is. And it's hard to carry that through life, because for some reason I think we think that it's a colorless, formless place that has no reality. It's not tangible. We can't get our, arms around it, so to speak. And it's just it's where love lives. It's where peace lives. It's where the real lives.
It's home.
It's home.
It's a lot of people say, I wish I had a job where I could work from home. and they don't realize that whether you're working in a factory or wherever it is that you work, you have the opportunity to work from home when you get it, that you can be home just by turning that little switch when you realize, this is home. And it doesn't matter what you're doing. You'd be chopping wood, carrying water, or, like I said, working on an assembly line, or have a boss who's a jerk, or whatever. And you can be complaining about the chopping of the wood and the carrying of the water. You can be complaining about this and that. I'd rather be here. I'd rather be fishing. I'd rather be, like the bumper stickers. And projecting yourself into somewhere else, or this is awful, I need a better job, and going on and on and on. And thinking in your mind, I wish I had a job where I could work out of my home, and all of those concepts just once again become an adversarial relationship with this moment.
A virtual reality.
A virtual reality, right. And so your relationship with this moment is being jeopardized because you've taken an antagonistic view of this moment. And in that, you have literally evicted yourself from the home that is available to you in every moment. And we have to overcome thousands of years of programming that is genetically encoded in our brains. We have to overcome that because we're born into this human form that thinks a certain way and just wants to go a certain way, just like the conditioning of ducks.
So we have to
the instincts. So we have to reprogram that. Yeah. And I remember when Ram Dass first came out. You can go all the way back to 1970. Remember how far back that was?
Yeah.
1970, and I got a hold of this 3-record set. Records, right? Records. Those round plastic things.
Younger people have no idea. Yeah.
3 records from Ram Dass, in which he recounted his India experience and so forth. And You know, and then later that year, as he had started the Lama Foundation in New Mexico, he came out with his Be Here Now book and stuff. And so, but I remember back then, as those kinds of things were coming into my awareness and so forth, and it's like the little dog that turns his head like this, you know, it's just like going, what?
Yeah.
You know, and you just sort of, like, you've been going along and you understand everything, and then all of a sudden you go, wait a minute, and you start to look at it differently. And so we have the opportunity in every moment to go like this, and if the going like this can cause us to just go, I'm home. And the story and the thing that's driving all of that just a moment ago, it had you in such a grip of you see the future, you've seen the past, and you're in this constructed self and so forth, and then all of a sudden you see it. Then those little awakenings become little reprogrammings of the synapses in your brain that you inherited, the synapses in your brain that you have been using through the course of your whole life and reinforcing your stories and so forth. You're undoing it, undoing it, undoing it. Of course, there's always the danger that every time you read a book or get some new idea or whatever, whether it's the old Be Here Now book or the latest book by somebody else, you go, aha, there it is, and now you've added another construct, another concept to me. Now I understand more. Now I'm getting closer to enlightenment. Now I've got some greater understanding, and it's just me, consuming more, and getting even further from home. The snare is amazing, but just that simplicity of,
well, you know, we react from our old conditioning. You know, one example, when I get involved with computers or any kind of gadgetry, it seems to grab me right where I can react in those areas. I can just like get totally uptight, totally frightened, totally, I don't know what you're talking about. Please explain, what do you mean, blah, blah. You know, I can get very uptight around that. So I think that sometimes the programming goes so deep in our weak areas, it catches us in our weak moments, and we tend to get a knee-jerk reaction around it. And it's really hard to stop the machine at that point and come back to be here now. Right, you know, I can really be here now with this. It's very, very difficult. It's something that you have to want very badly. You want to have to wake up. You want to have to change your life. You want to have it be different. On a very deep level, you have to want that. And when you want that, when you're tired of your life, then you go, there's got to be another way. And I think that is when you start noticing when those thoughts are going into stories, when those thoughts are taking down the very same groove. And you go, I am not going to do this again. And then you feel what's happening, and you choose, on some level, you choose differently. You choose to be awake with what is happening right now.